Hello everyone,
Hi everyone,
I'm Valdemar,
and I'm Veronica.
and today we are watching another video of George Carlin, but it's a different one than the ones that we watched already on this channel. It's not part of his stand-up routine. It's like a reading of his book. It's part of his book When Will Jesus Bring the Pork Chops, and he made like an audiobook for this.
Oh, he made an audiobook.
For this book of his, like he reads the book. Which he wrote, and this is the part of that book.
Have you read that book? Was it one of the ones I bought you or not?
This one I haven't read. I read the Brain Droppings.
Okay.
I never read the...
Well, I think I bought the newest one from the newer stand-up, not this one. Now that I think
Yeah, but this one I didn't have, and I looked it up. If it's available in Polish, it wasn't, and I think I will order it from Amazon and I will read it in original in English. Because I have no trouble understanding English speaking language, that it's more problematic for me, like you see. But yeah, so this is the part of his book, and yeah, I really like this video, this topic that he's talking about here, and it's like more a philosophical one than a comedic one.
Okay.
This is the male disease. It's called being full of shit. The male disease includes the need to be in charge at all times. In charge, in control, in command. A real man sees himself as king of the hill, leader of the pack, captain of the ship. But all the while, in order to fit in and belong, he has to act like all the other men and do what they do, so he'll be accepted and get a good job and a promotion and a raise and a Porsche and a wife. A wife who will immediately trade in the Porsche on a nice, sensible Dodge van with folding seats so they can be like all the other boring families. The poor fuck. The poor, stupid fuck. His manliness also requires that he refuse to go to a doctor or a hospital unless it can be demonstrated to him that he has in fact been clinically dead for 6 months. No sense going to the hospital, honey. I don't seem to be in a coma. Therefore, he must learn to ignore pain. It doesn't really hurt. Bleeding from 6 holes in the head doesn't really hurt. Just give me the remote and get me a beer and get the fuck out of here. Most men learn this stupid shit from their fathers. Fathers teach their sons not to cry. Don't let me hear you crying or I'll come up there and give you something to cry about. Great stuff, huh? All the problems in the world, repeat, all the problems in the world can be traced to what fathers do to their sons. So little boys learn to hide their feelings, and society likes that, because that way when they get to be 18, they'll be able to go overseas and kill strangers without feeling anything. And of course, that bargain includes a certain reluctant willingness to have their balls shot off. Honey, I have to go overseas and have my balls shot off, or else the rest of the guys will think I'm too afraid to go overseas and have my balls shot off. The poor fucks. The poor stupid fucks. And so, as a result of all this repression of feelings, the extent of the average man's emotional expression is the high five. Or sometimes when really deep feelings emerge, both hands, the high 10. This is raw emotion. And that's about all they're capable of. And they have Dad to thank. Thanks, Dad. But wait, don't think dads can't be fun at times too. After all, dads introduce their sons to the wonderful world of men. The male subcultures, the really tough guy, masculine He-Man stuff. No wimps, no pussies, no softies. There are 5 deadly male subcultures, and they all overlap. The car and machinery culture, the police and military culture, the outdoors and gun culture, the sports and competition culture, and the drug and alcohol culture. And as a bonus, I'm going to throw in one more. The let's go get some pussy and beat the shit out of queers culture. As I say, they all overlap. Many men belong to all 6. This male universe is, of course, detectable by analyzing its combustible chemical formula. Gasoline, gunpowder, alcohol, and adrenaline. A chemistry rendered even more lethal by that ever-present, ever-delightful accelerant, testosterone. Talk about substance abuse? If it's chemical dependency you're interested in, you might want to look into testosterone. Testosterone, the most lethal substance on Earth. And it does not come from a laboratory. It comes from the scrotum. a scrotum located, interestingly enough, not far from the asshole. How fitting! And as it happens, all these male subcultures share a particular set of features. Homophobia, coupled with an oddly ironic, complete childlike trust in male authority. Men are attracted to powerful men. They also share a strong fear and dislike of women, and this in spite of a pathological obsession with pussy. Testosterone! So why are men like this? I think the overriding problem for men is that in life's main event, reproduction, they're left out. Women do all the work. What do men contribute? Generally, they're just looking for a quick parking space for some sperm. Couple of hits of hot jism and the volume on the TV goes right back up. It's my belief that most of these flawed male chromosomes should not be allowed to go forward for even one more unfortunate generation. But such is biology. And so, excluded as they are from reproduction, men must find other ways to feel useful and worthwhile. As a result, they measure themselves by the size of their guns, the size of their cars, the size of their dicks, and the size of their wallets. All contests that no man can win consistently. And let me tell you why all this happened. Because women are the source of all human life. The first human being came from the belly of a female. And all human fetuses begin as females. The brain itself is basically female until hormones act on it to make it structurally male. So in reality, all men are modified females. Where do you think those nipples came from, guys? You're an afterthought. Maybe that's what's bothering you. Is that what's on your mind, Bunky? That would explain the hostility. Women got the good job, men got the shitty one. Females create life, males end it. War, crime, violence are primarily male franchises. Man shit. It's nature's supreme joke. Deep in the womb, men start out as the good thing and wind up as the crappy thing. Not all men. Just enough. Just enough to fuck things up. And the dumbest part of it all is that not only do men accept all this shit, half of it they do to themselves. By the way, I'm not letting women completely off the hook. After all, the one part of the lower anatomy that is the same in both sexes is the asshole. But women who are assholes aren't called that. They're named for a different part of their lower anatomy. They're called cunts. Isn't it nice that cunts and assholes are next-door neighbors?
Yeah, so that was it.
What did you think about it?
Well, I watched it a couple of times already, so it was not my first time. But yeah, like I said, I really liked it, and for me, it's like a prime example of how George Carlin was not just a comedian, but he was a philosopher too, and that he really was a person who was ahead of his time with what he had to say.
Do you think it's what he's saying about it's changing for our generation?
I don't know. Maybe yes, but on the other hand, now you are not as much influenced by your fathers, but by the people you see on the internet a lot, is what I think. Well, personally, I was raised in a household without a father, so I was raised in the mostly woman surroundings. So I fortunately didn't have that much of a male influence, which, well, later I think it's a good thing.
You mean this like toxic male influence?
Yeah, but it's very hard to have a male influence without having a toxic male influence.
Yeah, I guess.
So
Now I think it's a bit more. I'm thinking, 100 years down the line, maybe it wasn't as common to see parents hugging their children in the streets. And now if you see a father hugging his son, even if the son is like 12, that's nothing weird about that.
yeah.
At least that ends.
Yeah, we are evolving as a species, definitely. But
And you are, I think, although there's still a lot of stigma, but you can, I don't know, work at the nursery and be a man. And I think more people right now will not scoff at it anymore. You're allowed to have more softer, more like emotionally responsible jobs as well. But it's a slow progress, like for all gender equality, I guess.
Yeah, but what you are saying about if I think that it's different nowadays, I don't know. I don't have that much of a knowledge about the current generation, but still, what troubles me, what I think is a big problem, is that that need of belonging to something. And I don't know if it's necessarily because of the influence that the boys have, but you can see that it's more common with boys than with girls.
Oh yeah,
That need to have some sort of like belonging.
I think very often what you see in primary schools is that the girl has another girl and they hang out together and they play all the time, but the boys, yeah, they need to be part of some kind of a clique.
Yeah, the pack of friends, like, and yeah, me personally, I was never a person that had that need to belong to a group, and I think that is because I was raised the way I was raised. I might be wrong, but that's what I think. And yeah, I never understood it, and I'm not a fan of that because I believe that people as individuals are wonderful creatures, but the groups tend to bring the worst in us.
Yeah.
Like everything bad that happened in the world was made by groups of people. It's rarely done.
It's always the second person that starts something.
Yeah. And you lose your individuality when you are part of a group, and instead of thinking for yourself, you think as a group, and the group tells you what to do, how to think, what to think. And when you are being a part of that group, you lose your individuality.
And what do you think about the men expressing emotions? Do you think there's more acceptance of that? Because I think it's kind of like a lot of change that we do on this gender level or like societal level, that officially yes, because if you go to work and then you can have mental health days off for men and women the same. If you go to the doctor, no doctor is going to ever laugh at you or not give you medication. You will get the same support technically. But I was just in the back of my head, I don't know why this thought, but I was trying to think, when you get the videos of influencers apologizing for something, if I saw a man crying, I would never believe that he's crying like genuinely, and I would think that it's over the top. But if a female apologizes for something, I expect her to cry and be like in tatters. I don't know why I had this example in my head, but it's yeah.
I don't think it's like something that we need to, beating ourselves for that, because we need to remember, not only when it comes to this issue, it comes to everything. We are not the end. Like, we are still evolving. We are still evolving species. We are evolving as a species, and we are evolving still as a society. So just because we are like better in some ways than our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents, we are evolving and we know more about the world. We know more about it's easier to reach some knowledge now.
Yeah, we have more time and resources to think about this stuff as well. To focus on it.
But like you said, we are not the end, and the generations that will come after us will be better.
True. Yeah, as long as we keep doing our share.
Yeah,
Don't go
we are going in the right direction, but we are not at the end of the road.
Okay, and with that we leave you.
Yeah.
Okay, leave us a like if you'd like. And we'll see you in the next video, whatever it may be. Bye.
See you guys.